Okay, so you are based out of Des Moines, Iowa, correct?
Yes.
How long have you been out there?
Since about 2016.
And you're originally from Sioux City?
Yes. I was
Okay.
raised in Sioux City.
And that's South Dakota?
No.
South Dakota?
No.
Where?
Iowa. Sioux City, Iowa.
Sioux City, Iowa. But there
Yep.
is a Sioux City, South Dakota.
I don't think so. No, there's a Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yep.
Okay. So you're from Iowa City.
Nope.
I'm kidding. So Des Moines, tell me about the music community. I know they just built a big skate park out there. How's it going?
Shit, the skate park, I live right down the street from it, but I haven't even been to it. Yeah.
What do you do with your days if you don't go to the giant skate park?
I'm just always in the studio,
You're always in the studio.
for the most part.
Is that because it's at your house?
Yeah.
Okay, how's that?
It's pretty dope.
You like having the home studio vibe going on?
Yeah.
Is it pretty separated, you know, your work life and your home life, or is it one of those things where you roll into the studio in your boxers sometimes?
I mean, sometimes I'm in there in my boxers, but for the most part,
Ladies,
not really, no.
ladies. Okay, so when the clients show up and you're in your boxers, does it ever get weird?
No, they usually don't see me in my boxers.
Okay, boxers
No.
are just for the
Yeah.
ladies.
No, just for my girl.
Okay, just for the lady.
Just for my lady, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and let's touch base on that. So, what do us audio engineer dudes need to put into our Tinder bios to try and get a girl that will buy us a microphone? Because your girl's pretty special. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, she bought me a C100, Sony C100. So
And is that your main vocal microphone now?
it is as of right now, yes.
Okay, and what were you using before that?
The AKG C14.
And what were you using before that?
Or, before that, the Slate ML1.
The Slate ML1. Okay. What were you using before the ML1?
The ML1, I was using a Sony, or no, not a Sony, Audio-Technica 4050.
Okay, so you went from the Audio-Technica, which is a more conventional condenser microphone, into a modeling microphone,
Yep.
and you tried the modeling stuff out, and then from there you went to a C414, and then you went to the Sony C100 that you're using now.
Yep.
So let me touch base on the whole modeling thing. Did you stick around there for a while? Did you explore, or was it instantly something that wasn't for you?
No, I thought it was cool. I think when I first got it, I brought it here and I actually tested it against your C800.
Yep.
And I think B-Will at the time, he ended up picking the Slate mic over the C800, but they both still sound great. I think just over time.
What did you pick?
I honestly couldn't remember right now. I couldn't tell you.
It's okay.
But no, yeah, I was using that for a long time. Actually, I was using that, I want to say, for probably about 2 years, I want to say.
Okay. And then
And then went to the 414.
Yep. And
Yep.
now you're on the Sony.
Yep.
And what's your typical vocal chain look like? The Sony, what preamplifier are you using? Are you using any other, compression limiting in the chain?
I'm usually just using EQ. I usually don't do too much compression. I usually just use EQ, but I'm usually going through either my SSL E-Series or the Warm Audio Neve.
Okay, and by the E-Series, you mean the Alpha Logic one, correct?
Yep.
Yep, those are really, really good. When you record a vocal, do you tend to rely on the same sort of EQ moves so you can at least try and get back to where you were, or is it a little bit custom for everyone? I mean, I know on the 1073, because of the constraints that you have as far as frequency choices, there's a little bit less that you could do, but on the SSL, it's pretty much wide open.
Yeah, on the SSL, I kind of treat every vocal kind of different. I don't really treat every vocal the same. I don't think that's in the box or out of the box. I kind of treat everything kind of its own individual thing.
And yeah, I mean, of course, when it comes to the final mix, just some dudes, even me, if I'm in a studio that I don't know super well, I may just be like, okay, I'm going to add a little bit of top end instead of go crazy.
Yeah, I guess I don't go too crazy. I'm usually just making probably just broader moves. I'm not really doing when I'm tracking, I'm not doing really too much surgical stuff.
Okay, and then let me ask you a question, just general engineer question. At what point do you consider it to be a lot of compression?
If it's fucking up the way it sounds.
Okay, so, you don't have a number that you put on that. It's not like if I'm doing 10 dB of compression, that's a lot. You're fine with that as long as it sounds good. As long as it sounds good.
Sometimes it sounds good, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Do you tend to typically live in those higher gain reduction areas?
Not all the time, no. I wouldn't say all the time. It depends more if I'm going for a certain, if I'm going for that sound, or if the song that I'm mixing asks for it or just sounds like it needs it.
Yep. And, with the whole AMMixes thing, primarily you work with Des Moines local artists, but then you mix for a lot of people all over the world, correct?
Yes.
And you've also recently, you've been working with the guys over at Engineers also, right?
Yes.
Okay, and how's that going?
Was not necessarily with them directly, but just a part of the platform that Ali put together called Engineers, and it's pretty much just like a centralized location for people to streamline their workflow. So just managing things all the way from like the point of contact from booking, getting stems sent through to them, being able to review the files and A/B the final mixes or notes without them like downloading the Google Drive link and then not paying you, or just certain issues that people kind of tend to deal with as they're freelancing. So it kind of just streams out a lot of the bullshit, as we would say. So
do all of your clients go through Engineers then?
I'm slowly trying to convert everything more towards that as far as the mixes go, because it's more just streamlined towards like mixes now. So like tracking sessions and all that is still done through me directly. But as far as mixes, I'm trying to streamline that through them as much as I can.
Okay, awesome. Let's hit some top fives. What do you think is your number one most used equalizer in the box?
Probably the Fab Filter as of right now, but since the Make Believe bundle came out, I'm kind of using the MB EQ.
Hey, I'm happy that you're trying it out. What about your number one compressor?
RVox.
RVox, okay. Number one limiter?
Limiter, L2 if I'm just doing something real quick.
L2?
Yeah.
Okay, and you'll use it on mixes still?
No, probably not. It probably doesn't make it all the way. It depends. If I does it, probably I'm just using less of it. I'm probably not just slamming it as hard. I'm probably using that going into whatever I'm using next.
Okay, and before we move forward on this top five, what to you is a lot of L2?
Again, it kind of just depends. Sometimes I've used like 3 L2s.
Put a number on it.
A lot. Shit. 7.
7 dB. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. So, number one, reverb in the box.
Reverb in the box. Valhalla. Vintage Verb.
Vintage Verb. Which one do you like it on? Do you like it when it's orange, or do you like it when it's blue? Or
The orange one for the most part.
Okay, the 224 style one. Delay.
Echo Boy.
Echo Boy.
Yep.
And then do you have a favorite model inside of Echo Boy?
Nah. I kind of always tweak it. I usually am always fucking with the saturation on it.
But there's some that you go to more than others. I mean, for me, I usually try Memory Man first.
Memory Man. Memory Man's usually the go-to. Yeah, that one's probably the go-to.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.